So g'day, and today, well, on my channel we're talking about grading banknotes. So in today's banknote series we have those made out of cotton fibre or even paper, and those made out of polymer or a plastic banknote. And these sort of grade a little bit differently. I don't think the grading is actually updated for the actual polymer banknote, so most of the grading is just for paper, which has been around for about 100, 200 years, something like that. So, the first you want to know is they grade it out of 20. So, folding. You've got folded and unfolded. So, let's just pick one, maybe pick two of these Hong Kong $10 banknotes. Let's pick the worst. Okay, yeah, maybe that one and that one. So these are still legal tender in Hong Kong, so you can actually spend all these in Hong Kong as $10 notes. That's how I got all these. So we've got 90, 91, 92, and these were withdrawn when they issued the coin in 94. But then they reintroduced the $10 banknote. So we have folding. So flat and unfolded. Well, do these look like it? That will be 20. So no. One or two folds, leaving a faint increase. So this one looks like it's got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'd say 2 on that one. I can't see the third one, so I've got 1 and 2. So that's objectives. If you think it's just 2 folds with a faint increase, it's 15. If they're prominent folds, like I think that's prominent, then that will be 10. And if it has many folds like this one, you give it a score of 0. So I'm just going to say 10 for that, 0 for this one. Okay, then you want the surface crisp with no damage. Okay, I should write this down. Okay, so here's the scorecard so far. Okay, then we want to look at the edges. So the edges are perfectly straight and even. That's 20. And yeah, that looks like it might be. Slightly rough with very minor indentations. So I would say this one is probably slightly rough. So I'm going to give that 15. Okay, then considerable indentations. That will be this one. That will be 10. And all with tears in the margins. Barely damaged edges and tears extending into the design. So this is not a 0 because the tears will actually have to go in and a lot more damage. So I'm going to give this a score of 10 for the 91. And for this one, I'll give it a score of 15. So this is subjective, so other people might have a different opinion. Okay, then we want surface if it's dirty. Crispness, should I say. So, as printed, no major damage. Well, the folding is damaged, but we're talking about other stuff. This one has 3 folds, so I should actually change that to no, I'll keep it as a 10. Because it's got 3, obviously been folded in half and then they folded it down that way. So, ready detectable damage in several places, extensive damage. So this one doesn't seem to have that much damage, so I'm going to give it a 15. And this one seems to have some damage on the actual banknote up here, there. So I'll give it a 10 for that one. Okay, then we have punctures. Does this have any holes in it? No, it has a slight hole there. 1 or 2 pinholes. We're talking about pinholes. So we're not talking about tears. I've already analysed for tears, and that was in the edges. So, okay, several pinholes. So you just hold it up to the light and see if you can see any holes through it. So none of these have holes in it, so they will come as a 20. So a 20 is no holes. 1 or 2 holes is 15. More than 1 hole, like 4 or 5 will be 10. And if you've got big holes in it, generally in the center when they're folded, and especially the older banknotes, the larger ones, that will be a 0. And then we got cleanliness, which is the last one. So this seems to be a fairly clean note. Don't worry about the folds. You're not analysing that. Okay, so no soiling on it that we can see. But we turn over this side. Looks like we've got slight soiling on the center where it's been folded. So that's not a 20. That would be a 15. And then we've got considerable soiling. So this would be considerable soiling, fairly dirty, as you can see. And then we've got very dirty, legibly is reduced. So that means it's so dirty that it's starting to become hard to actually read the banknote. So this one's a 10. So if we got the score 20, 30, 40, 50, 20, 50, 75. So basically for my banknotes, so for this one I got a 50, and this one I got a 75. So that's the Wynyard's grading. You can actually look at it on their website, and they've got a 50 as about a fine. So it's about fine condition, and they have a 75 is about a very fine. Yeah, and then you go up to 100, which is uncirculated, and down to 1, which will be a banknote that's fairly torn and you can't read it. So that's the paper banknotes, but then you've got polymer banknotes. So polymer ones, they sort of vary. So the folding is the same. As you can see, this one has multiple folds. So that one would be, yeah, I would say for folding, that one probably 10. No, I'll give it a 0. Because it has too many folds in it. Too many wrinkles. Edges. Yeah, edges. So these banknotes, they do tear, but they don't tear like paper banknotes. No little tears all over the place. Usually if it's a tear, it's just a great big one. So they fairly rarely do that. And this one has no tears, but what you can do in replace of the actual tears is that you get scratches on the actual banknote. So this is where the variation does occur. So instead of tearing like this, you've got scratches. So we should use the scratches that occur here in replace of tears. So this does have some scratches, and that's just what I use to actually for the actual condition of polymer banknotes. So I would say this will probably be a 10 for surface. Okay, or should I say for edges? Okay, for the surface, any abrasions, damage, crispness, any damage. So these ones do show a lot of damage, folding, but we're looking for over damage like chips on the actual banknote, so the paint is actually flaking off. I don't really see that much at the moment. So the surface looks okay. I'm going to say that surface, yeah, I'll probably give it a 15. Okay, punctures. Now these ones don't really get too many punctures, but what you can replace instead of holes in the banknotes. So holes is oh, I don't know what you could replace that with. Maybe we'll do that last. Okay, cleaning this. Now these, yeah, they can get a bit dirty, but they don't, because dirt comes off these pretty easy. So the difference is that the dirt actually goes into the actual cotton fiber, so it's actually part of the actual banknote. It's hard to get out. You need to wash it. This one you just wipe it and it comes off. So you can't really use dirtiness for these banknotes because it's easy to remove. So what you could probably use is I don't know, fading. So these do fade just like paper. So maybe fading. Okay, yeah, it's up to you. And this one's quite clean, so I would say that's a 20. So then we've got punctures. So you can get these punctures. So instead of having pinholes, maybe because these have little chips that come off the actual banknote. Yeah, do we have it there? Okay, so you can see we have the banknotes. The paint's actually starting to come off. So instead of using pinholes, maybe you can use that. So on this one, do we see any? So you need to zoom in. I don't see any on this banknote. Oh yeah, we have like some that's coming off there. So maybe we can use that. So I'll put that as a 15. Okay, so we've got 50, so it's a 60. So this comes up as a 60. So that will be in between fine and very fine. So that's what that banknote. So basically, this is how I've graded the banknotes. So the polymer ones. Okay, we've got folding edges, or so that's tears, scratches. Yeah, surface damage, any punctures, cleanliness or fading. So punctures or chips. And basically that's how I've graded these 3 banknotes. So none of them have graded over very fine, which is 75%, which is this one. So I hope this helped you with your grading. If I've made a mistake, let me know down below. If not, let me know down below. Thank you very much and have an awesome banknote collecting time. Thank you and goodbye.